This set of video examples will walk you through how to compute various pie chart problems. Okay, so let's take a look at this first example here. Problem number 1. The citizens of a city were asked to choose their favorite pet. The circle graph shows how the citizens answered. If 2,000 citizens answered the question, how many chose birds or hamsters? Okay, so we are going to take a look at how to solve this problem here. Okay, so looking at a pie chart, one thing that we should always check on, we need to make sure that all of the percentages in a pie chart add to 100 degrees. So that's one item to note in a pie chart to make sure that it's accurate. Add up all the percentages and make sure that they do add up to 100%. That's the unique feature of a pie chart. Okay, so 100% represents the entire 2,000 citizens. Now we're curious about the ones who chose birds or hamsters. So birds is 21%. So birds is 21% of my 100%. Hamsters is 7% of my 100%. So birds plus hamsters, that's a plus sign, will give me a total of 28%. So 28% out of my 100% will give me the amount of birds and hamster folk I have. So here's one way we can do that. I know that 28% out of 100% is what I'm looking at, okay? And I know that my total population, remember 100% of my population is 2,000, okay? So I want to compute 28% of that. I don't know how much that is. So we say 28 is to 100 as X is to 2,000. All right, once I'm in this place right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop my percentages. So I'm going to drop that one. I'm going to drop this one here. Okay, and I have fraction equals fraction, so we cross multiply. Okay, so cross multiply here and here. So I have 28 times 2,000 is equal to 100 times X. I'm going to go ahead and finish my work right up in this zone right there. Oops, it needs to be 2,000, not 200. Okay. Okay, that leaves us with 56,000 equals 100x. Now we want to solve for x, so we're going to divide by 100 on both sides. All right, these zeros cancel, these zeros cancel. We get 560 is equal to x. So that means that we have 560 folks out there who chose birds or hamsters as their favorite pet. Problem number 2. Let's take a look at this one here. The circle graph below shows how the annual budget for a company is divided by department. If the amount budgeted for sales, okay, so we have sales right here, engineering, okay, that's right here, and editorial adds to $30 million, what is the total annual budget? Okay, so it's telling you that a part of the budget, we've got this editorial, the engineering part, the sales part, that's going to be $30 million. So we want to find out what the whole budget is going to be. So a couple things, again, remember that with a circle chart, 100% is that whole circle. And let's look at what our sales plus the engineering plus the editorial will come to. Sales is 18% plus engineering, which is 15%, plus we have editorial, which is 7%. So let's add up these percents and see how much these three components are. All right, so 18 and 15, that gives us 33, plus 7 is 40%. Okay, so 40%, so here's the way you can look at it. 40% out of the 100 is the part. That's the 30 million. Okay, so 40% is just the part. And I've done this before, so I'm going to actually write it up here to remind you. Percent over 100 is equal to my part divided by my whole. Often, the part is the word is, the whole is the word of. So percent over 100 is part over whole, or percent over 100 is over of, okay? The is comes before my part. I don't know what the whole, what the total annual budget is, okay? So my part is 30 million, and oops, I need a whole down here, my whole, okay? Fraction equals fraction, cross multiply. We got to multiply this by this. Okay, so I have 40 times W equals, we basically have 30 million times 100. So I'm going to have 30,000. I forgot a 0. And I'm going to add 2 more zeros. And then I'm solving for W, so I need to divide by 40. Divide this guy here by 40. We're going to have a nice giant number. Cross you out and cross you out. So let's solve for W. These zeros are going to cancel, and we have 7, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros. So let's go 1, 2, 3, there's my thousands, 1, 2, 3, there's my thousands. So it looks like my whole budget, my total annual budget, is $750 million. Okay, and that's what we were solving for. The sales, engineering, and editorial are 30 million, and 30 million is 40%, okay, of my total, or my full annual budget, which is 750 million. That's what we figured out down here. All right, let's try problem number 3 here. In a poll, students were asked to choose which of 6 colors was their favorite. The circle graph below shows how the students answered. If 500 students participated in the poll, how many chose blue, pink, or orange? So first, we know that 500 students participated. So my whole is going to be 500. All right. Now let's look. We're looking at blue, pink, and orange. So we have blue here, we have pink here, and we have orange here. So blue plus pink plus orange is going to give us 30% plus 20% plus 10%. That's looking like 30 plus 20 is 50 plus 10 is 60%. 60% of our students are choosing blue, pink, or orange. All right. So the question is, if 500 students participated, what's 60% of 500? Now, what I've been doing with you is the percent over 100 equals part over whole. Another way you can look at it is over of. Okay, so I'm going to set that up quickly, and then I'll show you another quick way that's faster than that. Percent over 100, so percent is 60. 60 out of 100 represents my part, which I don't know. over my whole, which is 500. Okay, so fraction equals fraction, cross multiply. So let's do that. I've got 60 times 500 equals 100 times p. And let's go up here and finish this off. 60 times 500, well, 6 times 5 is 30. Then we add a 0 from the 60 and 2 from the 500, so we have 3 zeros. So 30,000 equals 100p. We want to solve for p, so we're going to divide both sides by 100. That's gone. Zero's gone, zero's gone. So I'm left with 300. So 300 students chose the colors blue, pink, or orange as their favorite, and that represents 60% of the 500. Let's look at another way of doing this. A wonderful trick is the word of. So if we're looking at 60% of 500 students, this wonderful word here, of, means multiply. Now the trick when you do this, you turn the 60% to a decimal, divide by 100, so 0.6. Of is multiply, 500. Okay, so 0.6 times 500. Again, 6 times 5 6 times 5 is that 3, that 30, okay? And we are going to end up again with 300 students. So 300 students is 60% of. So using that of trick, if you see of, you multiply. Okay, just if you do this trick, remember, turn that percentage to a decimal, multiply 0.6 times 500, and we get 300 students.